quote. Tonight, I'm quoting a great man who once said that great ambition is the passion of a great character. Those endowed with it may perform very good or very bad acts. All depends on the principles which direct them. My guest tonight is a man who has worked, built, achieved, and still pursuing big dreams. In the early 1950s, somewhere in the green vegetation of Kumewu, in the then Gold Coast, a good-looking boy was born to a cocoa farmer and a loving mother with a special gene and dream. Today, his life mirrors a highly intelligent man who rose to become a globally acclaimed achiever in the world of business, corporate and public financial management with an eye for sustained socio-economic development. His bank career saw him rapidly rise to become deputy governor of the Bank of Ghana in July 1995 and then governor for 2 years later, where he served for 4 years and voluntarily retired in 2001. 8 years later, the newly minted president, late John Atta Mills, chose him to run Ghana's economy as finance minister. My guest is a self-made man and the founder and senior advisor to Ahotor Holdings, an entity with over 15 business enterprises in insurance, banking, real estate, farming, and media. This was all built while equally accomplishing his banking, academic, and political career. So after such an accomplished life, what's the new Ghanaian dream about? How does he manage the highs and lows of business and politics? Is he a man of many scars to show for his enviable success record? Is this the Ghana he envisioned as a young man growing up? And what will it take for this country to work again? The man with a cool, calm personality and the zest for life, Dr. Kwabena Duffuor, is my guest on the award-winning Starr Chat. Again, live on Starr FM in Accra, Empire FM in Takoradi, and Ultimate FM in Kumasi. We like to call him Daddy, but tonight I have to call you Dr. Duffuor. You're welcome to Starr Chat.
Thank you, Nana. Thank you.
It's the first time I'm interviewing you.
Yeah, I'm through your daddy.
Yeah, I'll call you Daddy after the show.
Yes, yes.
Yeah. But you mentioned that it's your first time in the studio.
Yes.
How come?
You came to my place.
Yes, to interview you. Yeah.
First, let me thank you for this opportunity. Let me say hi to these young and beautiful people around.
Yeah.
Thank you very much, young people, young men, for allowing me to be here. This is the first time I've been to your studio. Very impressive.
You like it?
I like it.
Yeah.
That's why you're doing so well.
Yes, thank you very much.
Good.
We know we can do better, but yes, we're very happy at the moment. Yeah. And I mean, since we're talking about this newsroom, this studio,
Yeah.
I first of all want to ask why you decided to set up a media organization.
A media organization.
Yeah.
A media is the fourth realm of the what?
A state.
The state.
Yeah.
So it's a very important.
Of the state, I mean.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So if you have a very strong media, you'll be able to support and deepen the democracy and the governance of our nation.
Okay.
So it's a very important sector, not because of profit or money, but for the fact that you are helping to deepen democracy, to help it to govern our nation. That's why we went on to set up this beautiful place for you.
Thank you very much. I mean, it has employed a lot of people.
Yeah.
And the one thing everyone at EIB is very honored about is the fact that you do not interfere with our work. You don't interfere in editorial policy. You don't interfere with the direction of programs. You just allow us. You give us the room to operate. And I think it's very unusual of a media owner. And so kudos to you for giving us the room to operate, to be ourselves.
It's because I trust you.
Thank you.
When you are able to employ very good people,
Yeah.
you allow them to do their best without disturbing them.
Yeah.
Don't look over their shoulders.
Yeah.
So I allow you to do your best, and you are doing your best.
Thank you very much. How did you meet Bola Ray?
Well, Ray is a friend of this guy sitting here. It's your brother's friend.
My brother's friend, Dr. Kwabena Duffuor, the second.
Second.
Yes.
He brought Bola Ray to my house.
Okay.
Yeah, into this business.
And you were impressed the first day you met Bola. Was it the first time you were meeting him?
I think I met Bola and Kwabena. Bola met us in banking hall somewhere. On Saturday, we were going around to look at the banks.
Yeah.
And then Bola walked in to see Kwabena. And Kwabena said, Daddy, this is my friend Bolore.
Right.
And since then, we have been,
Yeah.
it's been my son also.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. But let me move away from the media. How has your day been today?
Today,
Yeah.
very hectic, but very satisfying.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's been a good day.
A good day.
Yeah.
Yeah. A lot of meetings.
Yes.
Where do you get your energy from?
That's my wife, eh?
Kwabena, can you text mommy?
That's mommy.
Right. Because I mean, you're always on the go. I mean, I remember when you had your lecture a few months ago, and you were moving from one media house to the other, conducting interviews, granting interviews. And I was wondering, is he not tired? And you were going on. And I was wondering where the energy was coming from.
Well, you mentioned that my father was a farmer.
Mm-hmm.
We grew up as cocoa farmers' children.
Okay.
Walking around miles to farm, walking back,
Okay.
carry load on your head,
Okay.
getting up early in the morning to fetch water. That's how we were,
Yeah.
trained
Right.
and groomed. So we have that stamina
Right.
from infancy.
Okay. So you helped your
You didn't
father.
go to farm, did you?
No.
Your Kwabena has never been to farm.
Oh no.
I don't know what factory-
Kwabena hasn't been on a trotro before.
No, he hasn't. So if he had walked 3-4 miles away to farm and walked back 8 miles a day, you know what?
Wow.
Yes.
8 miles a day
Yes, you have to walk 4 miles to
to
farm,
the farm.
or walk back.
Wow.
That's what they do in the rural areas.
Wow.
You are here, you walk half a mile and you start complaining.
It's called the soft life.
Hmm?
We like the soft life.
I know. We had it tough.
Yeah. So you helped your father on his cocoa farm.
No, in fact, I was not born cocoa farmer's son. My
Okay.
father was a mason
Amazing.
when he
Okay.
had me and my 2 other siblings.
Okay.
And then he added cocoa farming
Oh.
to his construction business.
Okay.
Yeah, so the other siblings were cocoa farmers' children.
You were a mason's
The three of us were masons' children.
Right.
Me and my 2 other brothers, yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. And did you help with the masonry? Were you there to help him on the job?
I was too young.
You were too young. Okay.
young.
I asked that question because several conversations have come up about children working in cocoa farms, child labor issues, and people have tried to defend it, saying that it's the custom in Ghana, it's a culture in Ghana. You help your parents on the farm, on their jobs. If you come back from school, you have nothing to do. You have to go to the farm and help your parents.
I didn't have that opportunity
Okay.
because he traveled to Ahotor,
Okay.
the main area, to do the farming. Now I was schooling in Kumau.
Okay.
So I never had the opportunity to
Right.
practice cocoa farming.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you lived in Kumewu for the longest time?
Yes.
Okay.
I
And
lived in Kumau.
How was life there, growing up in Kumewu?
It was good. I enjoyed it.
Yeah, what made it enjoyable?
We had very good teachers.
Okay.
My uncles and aunties were very supportive. Okay. So I never missed anything.
Yeah.
Went in for common entrance, passed, had full scholarship, went to Prempeh College. So, at Prempeh, that's the school. Yeah.
Right.
So I enjoyed
Your childhood.
sure.
Yeah.
I enjoyed it.
You did. And you went to, let's talk about Prempeh College now. My father is an old student of Prempeh College. He's late now.
It's the best school in the whole country.
He used to brag so much about Prempeh College and said that at Prempeh College you can walk from one end to the other, and whether it rains or not, you will never be touched by the
It
rain.
wasn't bragging.
Yeah.
It was a fact. At Prempeh, you never go outside where you will be, going through rainfall.
No.
We had corridors throughout the school.
Yeah.
So from your dormitory to dining hall, you walk under the corridor.
Right.
From there to assembly hall for as for the usual morning prayers and so on, you walk under the corridors, and your lectures, the same thing.
Right.
So everywhere you go, you don't need an umbrella.
Right.
So your father was not bragging. That's the school we went to, Prempeh College.
If you had to do it again, would you still choose Prempeh College?
Oh yes, I'd like to go back.
Apart from this shed and the beautiful corridors you talk about, what makes Prempeh College such an extraordinary school?
The spirit there.
Okay.
You know, our motto is Subai Nimdie.
Okay.
Do you understand?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Integrity and skills.
Right.
Integrity and excellence. The religious dimension of the school is so huge. When we're there, every morning we were going to morning prayers, before going to classes.
Right.
Everything was first class.
Did that shape you in any way, the morning prayers?
Oh yes, oh yes. My housemaster was very religious, the late Major Chapman.
Okay.
And all those who were there at the time knew him, very religious. And those of us in his house, Agri House, had no choice but to go by his
right.
orders. We became SU. You know SU?
Yes.
Yeah,
Scripture
all of us.
Union. Yeah.
It was a good school.
Yeah.
We enjoyed our life there.
Yeah. What's your fondest memory of Prempeh College, if you remember?
Prempeh.
Yeah.
You know, we were number one in sports.
Okay.
We had a very good runner, Usmensa. You heard the name too?
No.
Yeah. So anytime we went to stadium, we were teasing the other schools.
Like Pokuwari and go.
Pokuwari, our city rival. We were beating them all the time. Therefore, we were singing our rose, our rice, you know. That's our phobia song.
Right.
Oh yes.
Yeah.
Oh yes.
So you love it. You love the school for the sports.
Oh yes.
Yeah. Right.
It's a good school. It's a very good
Absolutely.
school. Yeah.
After
So
one
your
of the
father
best
was not
thing done.
bragging. He was telling you. It's not like you went to school. We went to college.
Oh God.
Prempeh College. Not Ashmoto School.
Not GIS like Kwabena.
No GIS, no. We went to GIS.
Yes.
We went to Prempeh
Yeah.
College. Not school.
A college.
So your father was right. College.
Well, there's Adisadel College. There's Ghana National College.
The
It's the best of the colleges.
the best of the colleges.
Anyway, so we celebrated Father's Day a few days ago. How did you celebrate your day? How did your children celebrate you on the day?
My children and I, we are one.
Yeah.
They make me feel so good, you know.
Yeah.
And it's been like that from the infancy. We have been very, very close. I remember when I was going to London for the first time at Kwabena Airport, wouldn't let me go crying.
He was crying.
Yeah.
Oh gosh.
So that you go in, so who will study with me? That's how it's been. And on such occasions, they all come with even their children. So that grandchildren have now become part of the not. I tell them that now I'm paying more attention to my grandchildren
Than them.
Yes.
Yeah, they don't deserve the attention
But
again.
they have had their time, so they should give me space. To my grandchildren. It was a very beautiful day.
Yeah.
I enjoyed it.
You mentioned that he was crying at the airport and asked who was going to study with him.
Right.
Now, I want to focus on that. Parenting these days, you know. So you were studying with your children?
5 a.m.
5 a.m.?
We wake up and I was studying with him.
Right.
So he got used to that.
Okay.
So when I was traveling, it didn't occur to me that there was going to be a problem. I never thought about it until at the airport when the boy started. So that you're going, who will study with me?
How did you feel?
I will sit here.
You must have been heartbroken. Did you shed a tear?
I shed tears.
Oh.
Because I wasn't expecting him to do that.
Right.
So when he said that, then I did this. Tears were
Oh.
And he also suffered. I hear after for almost 6 months he wouldn't be good. He study. That's how we have been, very close.
Right. How important is it for parents to make time to study with their children instead of resorting to external private teachers to come to the house, and the parents are so focused on their work and making money for the home?
You may be busy, but make time for them.
Okay.
It's very important. Even when they were outside, they would tell you. Almost every day I was calling them. Pabna, where are you? What are you doing now? Kakra, where are you? It has been like that. You must find time for them. Otherwise, you see, we'll find time for other things. You must show that you care, that you're following their development.
Right.
Have time to study with them. If it's even 1 hour, it's very good. You may bring in outsiders, but try and have time for your children. It's important.
Right. And would you say that helped, shape them the way they've become now? Because you look at Kwabena, you look at Penny, you look at Kakra, you look at Anamoah, they're all doing very well, very independent.
See, when you do that, I remember Anamoah, because I was calling every day, if I don't call for 2 days, she will call.
Because she was wondering.
I've heard from you.
Yeah. Right.
And it works.
Yeah.
It works.
Yeah. I see. That's very interesting.
Yeah.
And you are a very well-educated man. I mean, you have gone on a PhD. I mean, when you were young, did you see yourself at that level? Was finance always your area of interest? How did you get into that area?
I went to university to do science,
Science?
because I was a science student.
Okay.
I studied physics, pure maths, and applied maths.
Wow.
But with this background, it was not difficult for me to change into economics and other areas.
Okay.
So I did that.
Why did you branch into economics?
I wanted to be a banker.
Okay. What attracted you? What made banking so attractive?
When I was at university first
Okay.
year, I had an intern job
Okay.
at the Bank of Ghana.
Okay.
So it influenced me, and I said, I'll change over. I'll change.
How did your parents feel when you mentioned that you were going to cross carpet to economics?
I didn't mention this to them.
You didn't?
No.
Why?
My father, as I mentioned, was working on his farm in the main area, the village called Gambia number 2.
Okay.
And my uncles were Kumu. All that concerned them was that I was at university learning.
Yeah.
I'm not sure they were interested whether I was doing physics or economics.
Right. And the switch helped you. You were happy with the switch. You
I was very
don't
happy.
look back
No,
and
I was
with
very
regret.
happy. I got the job I wanted. I wanted to be a banker. I became a banker.
Right. And you said you interned at the Bank of Ghana. Do you remember how old you were then as an intern?
Second year, third year, fourth year. 3 years I had intern job
Okay.
at the Bank of
So you were very young. You were below 30.
Yeah, I was below. Yes,
You were
sure.
way below
Sure,
30.
yeah.
Fast forward, you become deputy governor
Yeah,
and governor.
yes.
You never saw that coming, did you? Or it was part of your plan, it was part of the goal that one day you want to be at the top of the Bank of
No,
Ghana?
I had joined Ghana Commercial Bank.
Okay.
And my goal was to become managing director of Ghana Commercial Bank.
Right.
And they had sent me to London to manage the London office.
Okay.
You understand? So I was in London as a general manager. One day, I was approached that I should think of coming back to Ghana and go to Bank of Ghana as a deputy governor and not to go back to Ghana Commercial Bank. And I agreed,
Okay.
and I did that.
Was
So
it a very tempting offer?
It was tempting,
Okay.
but I was missing my managing directorship.
Right.
Commercial Bank is a very big bank. And to be an MD is a very powerful position.
Okay.
But I thought this was better because it was a policy area that could make impactful than Ghana Commercial Bank. So I agreed.
Okay.
And I enjoyed it as a deputy governor.
Okay.
And not only that, my former lecturer was the governor at the time,
Okay.
So coming to work with my former lecturer, who liked me so much, was a delight.
Right.
Yeah.
I see. That's interesting. Let me go back to your school days at the University of Ghana when you decided to read economics. I mean, you had some wonderful mates right through Prempeh College to the University of Ghana. Do you remember some of them?
Yes.
Do you meet some of them?
Mr. Ahotor
Oh.
was my mate from Prempeh Form 1.
What?
He was a real mate of mine.
Okay.
In the sense that, you know what, Ahotor and I went from one Prempeh College, 1A.
Okay.
And then we went to 4B to do sciences. We went to 6th form to do pure maths, applied maths and physics.
Right.
And we all went to Lagos to do economics.
Oh, wow.
He also changed.
He also changed the economics.
Yeah, so Ahotor was a mathematician. He read pure maths,
Wow.
applied and physics. So he was my mate.
So, you've known each other from day one,
From
Form
Prempeh,
one?
Form 1
right through university.
University.
Wow. Are you still in
And
touch?
interesting to say, I even went for about 7 months at VRA, and he was also there. We were there. So Ahotor has been my mate. I've known him from 1 Prempeh College.
Right.
Same class, 1A, throughout.
Right. And are you in touch? Are you still
Yes,
in
I am
touch?
in
You're
touch.
you're in touch with him.
Sure.
That's very interesting. Do you remember any other person apart from Uncle Otto?
A friend of mine this morning came to my office.
Yeah.
He's called Amu,
Okay.
but his nickname is Chico.
Chico. So nickname from Prempeh College.
Yes, so
Okay.
Prempeh College.
Okay. What was your nickname?
I have no nickname.
So you had one.
I didn't have no. I have no nickname.
Daddy, are you sure?
So we were very close
Okay.
and enjoyed our school days.
Right.
So today he was coming to see me, but I was going out for a meeting and he was
Yeah.
very angry.
Right.
I'll call him when I come back.
Okay.
So when I get to him, I'll call
You
him.
call him. I'm going to ask you a slightly controversial question about education, because you did the common entrance, you did A level.
Yeah.
Decades down the line, JHS was introduced. 3 years, 4 years, it was a battle between the two parties. Do you think that it has helped us, it has helped this country? The switch from the old system to the new system.
I would have liked to train my children
Okay.
the old model,
Okay.
not the new one.
Okay.
Because under the old one, it's easy to go outside and you fit into the system there.
Right.
For example, if you go to UK now with SHS, you are asked to do what? Remedial foundation program. And it doesn't work away for the children.
Okay. So it means a longer period in school.
I think so.
Right.
And it was working. And there are a lot of countries still going through that.
Okay.
I have friends in Israel. This is just like the old one we were practicing. Okay.
Right. So if you had the chance, would you switch to the old system?
We'll think about it.
Right.
We'll think about
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
Because see, it allowed the system to sieve itself.
Okay.
For example, a few will go to secondary school. A portion will go to training college. A portion will go to vocational training college. The grammar school is not the only
Right.
system. Getting a degree does not make you the best person in the world.
Oh, that's interesting.
I don't think so.
Right.
Okay. We all have our strengths. Somebody may be a good carpenter. If we have a first-class vocational training college, he will be a first-class carpenter and maybe earning more than even a graduate.
Absolutely.
Okay. Plumbing work in the developed world is a very respectable and profitable job. But because we are focusing so much on the grammar type of education, we are not getting people we need for the industries. Okay.
Right.
We should look at it again.
Okay. I'm still going to stay on education and focus on your children. You talked about making time to study with your children,
Yeah.
and how impactful that was. And quite significantly is the achievements of your children in academic work, in academic life. They have all, I mean, your son, Kwabena, for instance, acquired his PhD at 28 or something, very young. And your twin daughters, Penyin and Kakra. Kakra read actuarial science, brilliant lady. Penyin, brilliant as well. Nana Duma is a lawyer, brilliant as well. How important was it for you to see to it that they go to the highest level in life, in education?
To me, I think it was a process.
Okay.
You start to develop yourself to the highest level. They all have at least two master's degrees. Kakra has two master's degrees.
Did you influence that in any way?
To some extent, yes.
They had no option.
I to some extent, I influenced them,
Uh-huh.
and so was the mother.
Okay.
To say, I believe that when a child is not of age, he or she must be supported.
Okay.
If after having a degree in mathematics, as Kwabena, he wanted to change to do law, fine.
Okay.
But until you get to a certain level, I think we have to support you and guide you. You understand? After a certain age, 18, 20, Nana Duma has got a BA, LLB, LLM, MSc, business law. Now she's doing a different thing in addition to the profession.
Right.
That's her hobby. Okay. But until you get to that level, I will not let you do what you want. No. After you have got the degree and you decide to change, fine. I changed from science to economics. I was old. I was 17.
Yeah.
You understand? But if you all say, oh, children should be allowed to do whatever they want to do, you may be destroying them.
Right.
In my house, I will not allow that.
You wouldn't allow them to destroy themselves.
No, you don't have that choice. After sixth form, you don't even go to university, straight away in my house. You take gap year to do business, get into
Wow.
all of them. After A level, you apply for the post of a senior clerk in the family business. You understand? And for that year, we train you to be a senior clerk, to understand what senior clerk does in the working environment before you go to university. And before you go to the university, you are a staff of that company. So every year, you come back to work as a staff of the company for 3 years or 4 years that you are doing your degree. After the first degree, then you become a manager.
Do they have the choice to say, I'm moving on to another company?
Yes, you have.
Okay.
You have. But you have got your degree. If you want to move, we encourage you to move. But perhaps you would like to move because of the attractions. Okay. And the fact that you see your line of you may graduate, move to the top in your family business. So that may attract you. But if you decide to move, we may allow you to move.
You may.
Yes, we may.
Why you
we
will?
may.
Okay.
We'll discuss
You
it.
may.
Your family will meet and discuss.
Right.
The Kwabena wants to move away, and we'll discuss it. If he says he will move, we'll
Did he
let him
ever
move.
try?
He didn't.
Yeah.
No, he went to Stanchard first. After his PhD, he held his PhD at 27 years.
27 rather.
Yeah, and he went to Stanchard to work there. We didn't stop him. We encouraged him to go there.
Okay.
After a year or two,
He came back.
he came back to family.
Did you influence?
I didn't.
You didn't?
No.
Okay.
He wanted to come back
He had missed.
to the family. Yeah.
Right, he had missed that.
Yeah.
Okay. I'll focus a bit more on your, university days. Is that the period you met Mrs. Duffuor?
No.
Okay.
It was when I was working in the Ghana Commercial Bank
Ah.
that I met her.
Was she a staff there?
She was a staff.
Okay.
Don't go and tell her.
She's listening.
She was a staff in Kumasi,
Okay.
working in the Kumasi office.
Right.
And I was working here in the research department.
Okay.
And we had sent to Kumasi to go and do research. Then I met her through his uncle.
Okay.
Her uncle.
Okay.
Okay. And we became friends. But she was traveling the month we met. I met her.
Okay.
I met in February. March, she left for UK.
Okay.
And April, I also left for US.
All right.
So it was after 3 years that we met again.
You were never in touch.
We were writing.
You were writing to
We
each
were
other. Oh,
writing.
the letter writing days.
We were writing. Those years, you couldn't even call frequently.
No WhatsApp.
No, just writing.
Yeah.
We were writing.
You go to the post office to send a letter.
Exactly.
Oh dear. Yeah. So you stayed in touch for 3 years,
Yeah.
and then you eventually met where, here in Ghana?
Sure. We came back, we married.
Right. Oh wow. Yeah. And you've been married for how long?
Hey, since 1978.
Oh wow. Kwabena, 78. Do the math. You're the one with the
Since
PhD.
1978.
44 years.
How many years now?
Yeah, 44 years.
Yes.
Wow.
So you see?
Next year will be your 45th. That's a special.
Yeah. And we'll be 50 and I'll invite all of you.
Absolutely. Amen to that. We'll be there. Amen
So
amen
it
to
was
that.
78 when we got married. Yeah.
Yeah.
And 79 we came back to Ghana.
Yeah. Wow. Would you describe it as the love of your life? The love of your life.
Yes.
Aww.
Yes.
What about her, attracted you?
Who?
Mummy.
You what?
What about her? There must have been something about her that you really liked.
Nanaba. You're going too far. She's listening to you.
I know.
No, yes.
I know.
She's
All right.
She was lovely.
Oh.
So,
Yeah. Okay. Let's move on now to business.
to business, yeah.
Yes. So you left the university. Did you get a job right after, or you had to wait for some time?
The job?
Yeah, right
No, I
after
got the
university.
job when I was at the university.
Okay.
Okay.
With GCB.
With
Okay.
VRA.
VRA. Okay, you
VRA
mentioned
took me straight from university.
that. Okay.
They wanted to train me to be a human resource expert.
Okay.
But Ghana Commercial Bank wanted me to move in there to train as a research economist. And I thought that had more prospects than the human resource because of my background.
Right.
So I moved to Ghana Commercial Bank, and lo and behold, after 3 years, they sent me out for my postgraduate.
So it was a very easy path for you.
Yes.
Yeah.
So Ghana Commercial Bank made me who I am today. They gave me MA, MBA, and PhD.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. And I mean, you juxtapose that with the current system where people graduate from the universities. I've met people who graduated in 2006, 2012, and they're still sitting at home, no jobs. They're still applying. They're not getting the opportunities, and they're just there. And it brings me to my next question about entrepreneurship, because you're a solid entrepreneur. And you look at these graduates and they're being told that if you're not getting a job, do something. Find something to do. Should every graduate venture into running their own business? Are some people cut for that, or some are just cut for office work, a white-collar job?
Yeah, I mean, some people are cut for office work.
Okay.
They're not entrepreneurs.
Okay.
Entrepreneurial, instincts, abilities go with risk-taking. It's not everybody who can take risk. Okay. So I don't believe that's how we should manage the young people.
Okay.
Some of them should be encouraged to go into business because they have the appetite.
Okay.
They have, how do I put,
The passion
the
for
risk
it.
taking.
All right. Okay.
There are people who don't take risk at all. They want to work and earn their monthly salary. Encourage them to do that. That's why they were born.
Okay.
Entrepreneurs, I think, are born.
Okay.
You can't learn that from school. No. Risk taking is not something you can learn, can you?
No.
No. You may have two children, twins maybe. One may like a quiet life, wants to be like Anamoah, first class journalist. The other one may like to do business.
Yeah.
You don't force them that they should all go and do business. I would not do that.
Right.
Okay. So we should try to understand who we are as human beings. We are not the same. Not at all.
Right. What do you think we are missing in the area of employment opportunities? What are we missing as a country?
We should encourage those who can take risk to do that, to create more jobs, to create wealth, so that others will also benefit. You understand? They should be encouraged, not discouraged. Entrepreneurs don't sleep at all, you know that?
Oh, really?
How do you sleep? When you have a lot of
Bills to pay.
bills to pay, today is 22nd.
Second.
30th will come very soon, and you have to pay your workers. So if you don't have a very good team, if you don't see the stream of income between now and say 30th that can pay your workers, can you sleep?
No.
So they must be encouraged, not be condemned, so they can create wealth, create opportunities for others to come in. That's how the world is. Okay.
Right. And you mentioned something very important, teaching young people about risk taking. Do you feel that it should be part of the school curriculum, or for students who feel that I have the desire to run my own business one day? Should it be part of the curriculum, or it should be an option?
Well, I think the teachers would know who can do business and who cannot. I told you that I had a housemaster at Prempe who was so religious. At the time when we were so young, he could assess me.
Okay.
You don't believe it. He didn't want me to do science. No. So when I changed over, my wife said, "So your teacher told you when you were young." So they're able to assess people's, even when they are so young. He can do business. He's lucky to be a lawyer. So the teachers should be allowed to do that for us.
Okay. And I want to focus on your businesses. When you started off, you worked at GCB, but you set up your own businesses as well. If you can walk us through some of the challenges, because most of the time what we see is just the roses. It looks so good, but we don't know about the thorns. So what were some of the challenges you encountered?
All businesses have ups and downs.
Okay.
I started as a trader.
Trader?
Yeah.
Where?
When I came back from US,
Okay.
I started trading. I was trading in some chemicals called calcium carbide.
Okay.
You understand? And between 1886, I was a major importer of calcium carbide into this country.
Okay.
Eh?
For welding?
For welding and for, not welding, hunters also use that in the rural areas.
Okay.
But mainly welding, as you said. Welding. Talk to any welder. He'll explain to you what calcium carbide is.
Okay.
And a friend of mine from Kumawu introduced me to that. It's a very good commodity. I should go into that. I didn't know.
So you took a risk?
I took a risk.
Okay.
So I tried. My first consignment came. It was good. That was 1981, February.
Okay.
And I made my first million.
Oh, wow.
Yes, it was good.
It was?
Yes. So every 3 months or so, I was getting one container. So by 84, had made a lot of money, not my age, and Kwabena was only 2 years. Okay,
small boy.
I have a small family, so I then went in for a license to set up an insurance company. 84. So 85, I opened my doors. Starr Insurance, we have arrived.
Right. What is it about Starr?
Starr Insurance?
No, Starr. The name
Starr.
Starr. Yeah. The word Starr. What is it about it?
Starr. Starr is what? How does it start?
It shines.
Sure.
Yeah.
I chose lots of names, and I sent the names to my staff, the research department. They should give me the most catchy one, attractive name. And almost all of them said, Starr Assurance. So I chose Starr Assurance.
Okay.
So it was registered. April 85, I opened my doors. So I had an insurance company. But the Castle Carbide sales went also well that I didn't stop.
Okay.
So I kept on importing, and I built a boat for your mother. So 86 ended, we had a fishing vessel. Your mommy took it to Telma and became a fishmonger.
Wow. Yeah.
So the two companies were running side by side. Then in 1991, I was posted to London to head the London office for Ghana Commercial Bank. So I couldn't travel with my wife and children. Kwabena and the other siblings were all at Ghana International Bank. My
Ghana
wife was
International
running
School.
a fishing vessel
Okay.
and was also on the board of Starr Insurance.
Right.
So I was in London alone for 4 years.
Did you miss them?
I did. They were coming there every holidays, isn't it?
Yeah.
Every year they were coming.
Yeah.
But I missed them, sorely missed them, especially the last one. She was only 18 months when I left her.
Right.
It was not easy, but I managed.
Yeah.
That's how I started my business.
Was it difficult starting it?
It was difficult.
Okay.
It was.
What made it difficult?
I was in a different terrain.
Okay.
I never worked in an insurance company for even one day.
But so why did you venture into insurance then?
I had started financial institutions, and I thought insurance business was very good. It touched lives. Okay, it's not like banking.
Yeah.
When you are in danger, insurance will restore you. You are sick, it will restore you. You have accident with your car. It's a business that restores, gives health. Creates, I would say, life.
Right.
So I went in for that. Insurance affects everything except God.
Yeah.
In the different world, it affects everything. But over here, we are not developing, and I hope that in the future we'll be able to, the industry will be able to perform the functions, but similar.
Yeah.
Over here, it's not easy,
Right.
but it's okay.
Okay. How did you cope during the 1983 hunger period?
It is 3.
Yeah.
It is 3. I was still, I remember it is 3. Kwabena was about 1 year, and I had twins at the time when there was so much hunger in Ghana. But if you believe the Bible, it says what? You go to church?
Yes.
At the time when this was so tough, that was the time I had twins. And the Lord performed. We had a lot of food from London, baby food. My friends sent baby food to me. And through about 2-3 years, we had no problem at all.
Right.
There was hunger in Ghana, but my children didn't experience hunger because of that.
Yeah. You made sure.
I made sure.
Yeah.
Yes.
But I want us to talk about that period.
But generally, it was a tough period.
Okay.
Remember, that's when we had something called rolling chains. There was hunger. And bushfire even worsened the situation. And then the Ghanaians who were deported from Nigeria, about 1 million, also came to add,
Yeah.
was in the situation. But I think the leadership at that time managed. They were to weather through the storm. And by 84, I think we were okay as a nation.
Okay.
But it was a tough year. 83 was a very tough year.
Yeah. It brings me to my next question about your very good friend, the late Flight Lieutenant Jerry John Rawlings.
Yes.
Yeah, because it was just around, he was very popular around that time.
He was very popular and he offered a strong leadership. He was very young. Don't forget, 83, how old was he? And all of a sudden, the economy had gone down. We were going through bushfire almost everywhere. Ghanaians have been deported from Nigeria. But he offered strong leadership. And within 1 year, we had weathered the storm. 84, the economy had started, recovering. Yeah.
So you were here, you witnessed the coup.
I was here. 83 to 4, I was here.
Yeah, you saw the coup. How did it make you feel?
Which coup?
The coup Rawlings undertook.
81.
81 coup, yeah.
Yeah, the June 4th I wasn't here.
But the 31st December.
31st December I was here.
Okay.
I was here.
Okay.
I was here.
Yeah. How did you take the news of a coup? You woke up in the morning, there is a coup. How did you take the news?
No, it happened during the day.
Okay.
I was at the office when we heard about that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How did you take it?
Well, he had come before. And he said, I've come again. This is not a coup. This is a social revolution or something like that.
Yeah.
So I just was took it cool that we know him. He's come before.
Yeah.
So there's nothing new. He's coming to change the system.
Do you remember the first time you met him?
It was 1996, May 17th, when the city house was being commissioned. That's when I met him, and from that day we became friends. Yeah, till he passed away.
Okay, and he always had very kind words to say about you, and I remember the number of times I met him. And he will ask, where is Dr. Duffuor? When you go, tell him that I said he must change this country. He must do something. Did he ever tell you this personally?
And don't let me go home in tears. Please, please.
I'm sorry. Did he tell you this personally?
We were very close.
Right.
Very, very close. And yes, he kept on saying so. And maybe I disappointed him. But what can I say? It happened. I'm sorry.
Right. How did you take the news of his death?
The death?
Yeah.
I was down. Broken down completely. Because we had spoken about a week earlier, and he has asked me. I wasn't well, so he was telling me, Munwa, get well quickly. There's so much to do. So I was expecting that, yes. Then I heard he was down. He was off. I couldn't believe it.
Yeah. You've got tears in your eyes. I'm sorry. I'm really sorry. Kwabena, we need a tissue.
It was okay.
Oh, okay. You see, perfect gentleman. He's got his handkerchief in his pocket.
It's okay.
I'm so sorry, Daddy. I'm sorry I went there. Not too sorry, but yeah,
No,
I'm
it's
sorry.
okay.
Anyway, I'm going to move away
He
from...
liked you so much. But,
Sorry?
Well, what can we do?
Yeah, he really liked you. I mean, he really, really liked you. And one thing that you did that he really appreciated every year was that on his birthday, you send a team to his house.
Yes.
You know, to show your love and your appreciation. And he really liked that. Yeah, he really liked that about you. Anyway, bless his soul. All right. But you were very close to Professor Mills, too.
Very much so.
Yeah, yeah. Two different characters?
Not really. You see, Prof liked Jerry so much. Anytime he heard that people were insulting him, he got disturbed.
Okay.
They liked him. But their styles were different. Okay. He was a very, how do I say, not aggressive like JJ, but he was a very strong person too. Very strong character. When he says no, it means no.
Wow, you can't change his mind.
No, that's Prof. Bells. Yeah. They're all very strong leaders, but different styles.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right. And you played a critical role in his, tenure. You were very influential at that time. The performance of that administration, the performance of the economy at the time was one that has been rated highly. Then we saw a downward spiral along the line. You can answer this question if you want to. But what do you think went wrong with the management of the economy when you left office?
Professor Mills was a professor of tax law.
Okay.
He understood taxation, and for 8 years he was the head of the
IRS, yeah.
So he had background in finance. And I had been the governor before, so I also had a background. The two of us managing the economy was so different from any other pair in this country. I'm not sure we've got that any team like that before, have we?
No.
So we were able to understand what had to be done to get it right. And we did it. Okay, it was not me alone, but Prof. Mills played a role. We had a very strong team. Yes, our performance had been the best in recent years because we had a strong team. And we're committed, very committed. Okay.
Would you say that we are lacking that kind of strength and commitment in the management of the affairs of this country?
No, having two people with the same background, I mean, a tax lawyer who had some years of exposure in revenue mobilization. For example, he will tell Kwabena, if we don't have revenue, we have no government. Almost every month we'll meet. Kwabena, how are you doing? Remember, we rushed to customs one morning and had, you remember?
Yes.
Yes. He called me early in the morning, Kwabena, we are going to customs today. Pack your car, sit in my car, let's go. Revenue meant so much to him. If you don't have revenue, if you can't grow your revenue, you cannot manage your economy. How do you pay your bills if you have no revenue? So Prof was so concerned about revenue mobilization. And I kept on saying there was no substitute to domestic resource mobilization. During a period, we never went out for $1 Eurobond. No, we didn't want it. We thought we could mobilize money, our revenue from domestic resources, and we did that.
Is it possible today to mobilize resources?
It is possible.
Yeah.
It is possible. Why not? We are with the same people. It is possible.
So what are we missing then?
No, we have to look at some of the sectors. For example, I mean, when you pay arrears, you grow your economy.
Okay.
Because if you've done work for government, and government owes you, say, 10 million, the money is not yours. You're going to pay your workers, won't you? And just pay the workers. The revenue will come back through taxes. So during our period, I tried to pay all the arrears gradually. And I was taking my revenue through the taxes. So the money came back to me, came back to government. So if you gather the courage and pay the arrears, you grow the economy. Arrears payment has huge impact on economic growth. It's not easy to pay, but try to pay.
Okay. Is that not what this administration is trying to do with the e-levy, trying to mobilize within?
The e-levy was conceived in November, isn't it?
Yeah.
And because of the delay, e-levy, people were able to mobilize sort of force against e-levy. By the time it was passed, it has lost momentum.
Okay.
And the revenue they were expecting was going to go down. If it had been done in November, we would have got more revenue than they'll be getting now.
But do you feel it was the way to go? I mean, as a former finance minister, as an economist, is e-levy the way to go?
I would have started from a lower level.
Okay.
Yeah. I would have started when we move up gradually.
Okay.
Yes.
But you feel we need to be taxed more in this country? Or we should broaden the tax net, rather?
No, we had, I mean, personally, I was looking at other sources.
Okay.
For example, our extractive sector, we can grow revenue from there, okay? Our mineral resources, the gold, we are the biggest gold producer in Ghana, in Africa. Exporting billions every year. How much of that impacts on our cash flow or central bank's cash flow? Very little. We must look at the way we are managing our mineral resources. These are our God-given resources. You understand? So the extractive sector must be looked at seriously. That's where we can get big revenue. Huge.
Right. How about Ejapa?
Ejapa, the same thing. I'm talking about minerals.
Yeah.
It's part of it.
Yeah.
We should manage it properly. Okay.
Ejapa should be managed properly, or you mean the extractive sector should be managed properly?
Properly, yes.
The extractive sector.
Ejapa is part of it.
Okay.
The whole sector must be managed
Okay.
in a way that to bring in more revenue. You look at Botswana and their diamonds. They get so much from diamonds. But our gold resources are bigger than their diamond resources. So we should be looking at our gold and other minerals. Even as we're speaking now, we have discovered lithium.
Yeah.
Isn't it?
Yeah.
Let's look at our mineral resources. The extractive sector alone can push this country forward, push the growth at a very rapid rate than any other sector. They are there. We have the resources. Why are we not paying attention to them?
Right. I'm going to stay on Ejapa for just a few minutes.
No, Ejapa, you know what? I wouldn't like to talk about Ejapa.
Okay.
Because I started Ejapa. And I
okay.
called it Ghana Gold Company.
Okay.
So spare me with that.
Okay. Okay, that's fair enough.
Yeah.
I will move on. I will move on from Ejapa. Yeah. But I also want to ask you about wastage.
What?
Wastage.
Wastage.
General wastage in the economy. And there are people who feel that, okay, we are being told to tighten our belts. We are being told that things are tough. We need to brace up. It will get better, but we're in tough period. We're in a tough period. It's been attributed to a number of things: the Ukrainian war, by Russia, a lot of things. There is rising inflation across the world. Yesterday, the Bank of Ghana governor said that, yes, they're dealing with inflation, but they expect all agencies to come on board because the Bank of Ghana alone cannot deal with inflation. Is that true? That the Bank of Ghana would need state agencies, a lot of stakeholders to come on board to handle inflation, which is rising astronomically in Ghana?
The governor was making a point. He's right.
Okay.
The Bank of Ghana has been given an assignment to make sure the price level remains stable. In the inflation basket, we have two portions: food and non-food. The Bank of Ghana is not in charge of the production of food, are they?
No, they're not.
That's the work of the Agric Minister and other agencies producing food for us. So when food production becomes a problem and the price of food starts rising, it affects inflation, how do you blame the governor?
Okay.
So he was making a point. In other words, we must all come together. What do we do? The Agric Ministry and the buffer stock agencies should rise up. Should we buy grains and store so that when prices are rising, we release the grains so that inflation can be controlled?
Right.
We're not doing that. But when inflation starts going up, we hold central bank responsible. Hey, the government is not working. Does he have any control of food production? He hasn't. So I understand him. We should all come together.
Right.
Agric ministry, all the other. Let's come together and see what we can do so that food production, for example, will increase and price will go down.
Okay.
Energy, the government has no control over the energy. The petrol, he hasn't. But at the end of the day, he's been given an assignment to make sure that price level remains stable. So he was making a point, and I agree with him. We must all come together.
Do you agree with those who say that Africa has let itself down? Because in a period where food prices are rising across the globe, we are not at war in Africa. We have the lands, we have the weather. Everything is perfect for Africa. And they feel that at this particular moment, Africa should be feeding the world. But we are not. Have we failed as a continent?
Where do you come from?
Ghana.
Where?
Cape Coast.
Oh, Cape Coast.
Yeah.
From here to Cape Coast, left or right, you see the vegetation?
Yeah.
What are we doing with that? We can't feed ourselves. Why? In this country, apart from cocoa, that bears fruit after 18 months. Any other crop will not take more than 1 year. Why are we hungry? Why are we importing rice, importing food?
Tomatoes.
Why? You look at the 15 drivers of inflation. About 9 are food. 15 drivers of inflation in Ghana here, 9 are food. And we are an agricultural country. Fertile land. You and I, we are letting ourselves down.
Yeah.
Can't you produce food?
We can.
Watermelon is a problem. Look at the price of watermelon. It's rising every day.
Yeah.
We even hear of even grapes. Grapes are the number 1 driver of inflation in Ghana. Grapes.
Yeah.
Can that be a problem? Grapes? How many of us take grapes for grapes to drive our inflation?
Right.
So that every Ghanaian is paying for that grapes price. Is it right?
It's not.
So the answer to your question is that we have let ourselves down.
Okay.
We are in a fertile, we have fertile land, arable land, fertile.
Yeah.
Yet we are not producing to feed ourselves.
Yeah.
We want foreigners to feed us.
Yeah. 2 things I want to ask you before I talk about the Ahotor project, because it's very important to me. Yesterday, the Rwandan president, Paul Kagame, made this very interesting quote that has been trending on social media. He says that if the owners of natural resources go around begging, then you should know there is something wrong with their minds. Do you agree?
I've talked about it.
Yes.
So I agree with him.
Okay.
God has given you natural resources, gold, minerals, yet you are hungry. So why would he talk like that? What don't we have in this country? Why are we poor? Ghana as a country is wealthy. It's Ghanaians who are poor because of our attitude.
How do we change that attitude?
It's leadership.
Okay.
Leadership from family level to the top. Okay, years ago, we had very strong family leadership. Our parents, our uncles were very strong, made sure we were well educated. Go to rural areas and see now, it's broken down. So leadership has broken down from the family level up to the top. So we are living in a wealthy environment, yet we are poor.
That's sad.
Very sad.
Yeah.
Then we should wake up.
Okay.
You and I, all of us, before our children get angry.
Let's wake up on that note to the Ahotor project. Let's talk about the Ahotor project. What is this project about?
Ahotor project is a mini business
Okay.
that we want to introduce at the grassroots. Very simple business. We have realized and indeed observed that the grassroots are suffering. Okay. But they are the managers of our party. At the grassroots, they manage parties for us.
Okay.
Because of our culture, there is so much pressure on them
Okay.
at the social level. Funerals, name ceremony, a chieftaincy. I mean, yes. So the outdoor events and activities which are being held in the rural areas, the localities, even Accra here they do that. They have difficulty funding them. So we want to support them with that. With small businesses, about 25 to 30,000 cities can provide a mini business for constituency to strengthen the base. Okay, if you can provide them with, say, 4 canopies, 100 chairs, a sound system that they can rent and bring in, say, 3,000-4,000 cities every month. We'll be able to take care of the funerals, the donations, the churches, a lot of issues.
And even the school fees of the awards.
Of the awards,
Yeah.
actually even the medical bills.
Yes.
A poor woman go to hospital for labor, and a month or so is still there because she hasn't got 1,000 to go and pay and get out. Very pathetic, but it's happening.
Yeah.
We want to see who can support them at the grassroots. That's all. That's all. That's what Ahotor relieve.
Yes.
So we want to relieve
people of the pain,
on the burden,
Yeah.
especially financial burden, on them at the grassroots.
How have they received this project? They must be very excited about it.
Very excited.
Okay.
Very excited. We had the first lunch at Ashama. And
It was massive.
Yeah, very, very successful. And they are all asking for it. So we hope that very soon it will be launched, relaunched at the party office.
That's what you're doing tomorrow?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah. And it's happening at the NDC headquarters at 10 a.m.
Yeah.
tomorrow.
Tomorrow, 10 a.m.
Yeah.
It will be a good news for the grassroots. They'll be happy to hear that.
Yeah.
And after that, we do the rollout. It will go out. Yes. In phases, though. In phases.
Okay. Do you know how many phases yet?
Well, the project team, Kwabena people, are trying to push about 48 out immediately. At first phase. So it will be phases.
Okay. But eventually, all the constituencies
All the
will
275 constituencies will have Ahotor
Okay.
in their constituencies
Okay.
to prove upon their finances and to be able to strengthen their party. For us to win the 2024 elections, we'll become very strong and fiercer. The NDC will win. Not only
You believe NDC will win 2024 elections?
Of course we are winning. We are coming.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Are you doing the right things to ensure victory in 2024?
We are doing the right thing.
Yeah?
We are doing the right thing.
Yeah.
We will come.
Yeah.
We are winning.
What do you make of the NDC in opposition? Some say you just make noise.
NDC?
The NDC is just loud in opposition.
NDC?
Yes.
Really?
Yes.
We are allowed in? No.
You don't think so?
We are working. We are working.
Yeah.
Go to the grassroots.
Okay.
They are very prepared
Yeah.
to bring about a change. Because they know that when we are in power, we help them. When we are in power, we're able to introduce a lot of social intervention programs. They're waiting for them. Ahotor is one of them. Ahotor is a social intervention program that will touch the lives of those at the grassroots.
Okay.
Yeah.
And you must have monitored the plight of the grassroots for a long time to decide that, given the opportunity, this is what you're rolling out to them.
Yeah.
You monitored them for a while?
We had.
Okay.
We had.
Were they complaining incessantly to you? Is it something that came to your attention by happenstance?
No, we went out. We had an outreach program, and it came out when we went out.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
When a chairman of a constituency attends 5 funerals on Saturday, and he has no money.
Yeah.
And one of them was telling me that every Saturday I have to take about 300 cedis out before I leave, because if I take it when my wife is around, she will not agree. Because this is a voluntary work I'm doing,
Yeah.
and yet I'm pumping money out every
Right.
Saturday.
Right.
But if I don't do it, I'll lose my position.
Right.
So I do that, and it's draining me.
Right.
I may stop even doing politics.
Right. But once they are empowered, they will not have to rely on anybody.
No.
Yeah.
No. We are,
Hence the Ahotor project.
We want them to be able to fish for themselves.
Yeah. Are you eyeing the presidency? Are you eyeing the presidency?
When they announce it,
Yeah. Will you let us know?
I'll let you know.
Hopefully, I'll be the first to know.
When they announce it, I'll let you know.
Absolutely. Now, I want to go back to national issues. The first one is the National Cathedral, with majority of Ghanaians, from civil society to the youth on social media to Ghanaians living abroad, all thinking that the National Cathedral cannot and should not be a priority in the current circumstances we find ourselves. What do you think? I mean, you sound like a very religious man. You give to God what is due him. So
Yes.
a national cathedral.
Yes, that's why I'm quiet. If you look into the Old Testament, when David, after having done so well, built the empire, built the kingdom of Israel, I felt that, oh, God has helped me. I want to put up a temple for him, a cathedral. He told the prophet Nathan, yes, do it. But what happened? God spoke to Nathan when he was going, he said, go and tell my servant, I don't want his cathedral, his temple, because of his hand, his bloody. I made him fight, kill people.
Right.
I want to ask whether the prophets in Ghana have had that. You understand me?
Yeah.
God has spoken to them.
Right.
Because our president is not a prophet. He says, I'll do this to glorify God. They should pray to God. If they have done that and God says, yes, they should go ahead, there's nothing like priority for something that must be done for God.
Right.
If they have done that and God says, yes, Ghana, let your president do this for me, then the question of priority should not be brought in as an issue.
Okay.
Anything to God is a priority.
Okay.
But as a Christian, when I look into the New Testament, I have a problem with that.
Right.
You see, what I mentioned is the Old Testament, but New Testament, Acts chapter 17 says this. Now listen. Acts 17, 24, 25 says this. God, who made the world and everything in it, since he is Lord of heaven and earth, does not dwell in temples made with hands. Nor is he worshipped with men's hands as though he needed anything, since he gives to all life, breath, and all things.
Right.
So Acts 17, 24, 25 says he doesn't live in temples.
So it's not a priority.
New Testament,
Per the New Testament.
New Testament is not priority. New Testament, Old Testament, if the prophet has spoken to God and God says,
Build it.
build it, it's a priority.
Right. But in the New Testament, he
No,
says he doesn't live in temples.
No. So for a Christian, yes, this is the answer.
So if you didn't hear that right, it is not a priority. Just to summarize. Just to summarize that. All right. You know, because the National Cathedral, for instance, when I posted your flyer on my pages, and I was monitoring the questions that were coming up, the National Cathedral kept coming up that they would want to know what you think as a former governor and as a former finance minister, considering how low we have sunk the economy-wise, how low we have sunk this post-pandemic. There is Russia in Ukraine. There is inflation rising across the world. At this particular moment, should we be doling out money to build something of that sort in Ghana? And so you can tell that a lot of young people are concerned about the cathedral, the construction of the cathedral. Yeah. If you were president with this goal, and you had the young people complaining this much, that we don't think it's a priority, civil society organizations constantly drumming home the point that it is not a priority, would you abandon it or build it at all costs?
I've answered it.
You abandon it as a Christian.
My answer is here.
In Acts 17, 24, 25,
yes, 17,
he does not live in temples
17,
to summit.
24, 25.
All right.
If we're Christian, but go to the Old Testament, it's a different matter.
I think I prefer the New Testament.
Hallelujah. Hallelujah.
Praise the Lord. Absolutely, I prefer the New Testament. Now, also another thing I want to speak to you as a former finance minister is our desire to go a borrowing, and I'm talking about the IMF. We went to the IMF in 2015. Is it 2015? Yes, in 2015. There are talks that we may go to the IMF again. What was your relationship with the Bretton Woods when you were finance minister?
It was very good.
It was good? Yes. Okay.
But what's wrong with the IMF?
There's nothing wrong with going to the IMF?
It's a club.
Okay.
We are a member of the club. So if we're in difficulty, I will go to the club for support. Why should we worry about that? In 2001, President Duffuor opted for
HIPIC.
And in the end, we had about 3.9 billion debt relief, which gave us a very big fiscal space in 2005. So by 2006, our public debt had dropped to about 2.2 billion. Okay. So President Duffuor dealt with the IMF and the World Bank during his time. President Mills dealt with the IMF. I was the finance minister. And the period 2009 to 2012 had been the best period when Ghanaians have seen the highest growth of our economy, over 14%. Inflation, 31 months, was below a single digit.
Yeah.
Unemployment by 2012 ended was about 2.2%. The cedi was so stable. When we took over, a dollar was 1.2 cedis could buy a dollar. That was January. January 2009, 2.2 cedis could buy a dollar. The time we were leaving office, 2012 December, 1.8 cedis could buy a dollar. So over the 4-year period, when we were under the IMF program, the cedi deteriorated by only 60 pesos, the IMF program.
So it is a good program?
There was no problem.
Okay.
And unemployment, as I said, came down.
Okay.
The fear is that if we go in for the IMF program, they will not let us employ people. It depends on where you negotiate. We were employing people in the health sector, in the education sector. Otherwise, unemployment could have dropped to 2.2. Otherwise, the city could have been so stable over a 4-year period. Otherwise, the economy could have grown to such a high, the GDP was first class. So I don't think the problem is with the fund per se, but the nature of the program must be looked at carefully.
Okay.
We have to negotiate for it. Because right now, yes, the economy has done well, 5.5% GDP growth, even though they were expecting more than that, 5.5. The budget deficit is almost about 10%. Inflation is about 27 plus. The city since January has gone down by 15%. And our debt GDP ratio over 80%. The revenue we need to service the debt, the revenue we need to pay our bills, it's not coming. It's not growing. As I mentioned, during our time, Prof used tell me, if you don't have revenue, you have no government. How do we grow revenue? So whilst we're trying to structure the economy to grow revenue, we should get support from somewhere.
Okay.
We should, to me, IMF can't destroy our economy. It's because of the way we negotiate the program, because it has, during my time, we were under IMF, and our growth was the best.
So it was down to the negotiations?
Negotiations.
Right.
But we must go to them with our program. This is what we want to do. You can't manage my economy for me. So you want to tell me how I should educate my children? No, this is what we want to do. Can you help us?
Right.
But you don't give me your program, a program that will destroy my children, will kill people. I will not take it.
Right.
So it's not just going there which is a problem, but the nature of the program. 2009, our program was tough. And it worked very well. We should not delay for us to get into deeper trouble. I think we should look at it seriously.
Okay. Now, one of the last things I want to talk to you about is the payment of ex gratia to Article 71 office holders. I'm told that you never took it when you were Minister of Finance. You didn't take it. Is there a reason you didn't take it?
You see, there's a value, family value, that talks about giving back to society.
Right.
My family has that value. I helped in setting up a rural bank in my town, Kumawu, in 1982, and became the chairman of the board. I never took a certain allowance, nothing, for all those years. Okay? I'm still the chairman of Ghana Heart Foundation, the board of trustees, whatever. I've never taken a peso since 1998.
Interesting.
So when I became the finance minister, I had to deal with the president. I didn't want to do the job because I was so scared that I could be fired. Having done 32 years banking and going in to be a minister of finance, they may fire me after 6 months.
Reshuffle.
I was so scared of that. Reshuffle or fire. So I didn't want to do it. So there was a bargaining. I said, if I'm going to do it, I wouldn't take a peso. I won't take any pay. Not that I don't want money. But I was prepared to give back.
You didn't take a salary for it?
For 4 years, not a peso.
Wow.
I stayed in my own house with Kwabena and the children. There was no rent allowance from government. I used my own car, no petrol from government, no salary for 4 years. After the end of the period, I gave my ex gratia to the state. So I went home with
nothing.
And it was a real giving back to society. I was very happy. So I have difficulty talking about ex gratia.
Right. Should it be scrapped?
I wouldn't say it should be scrapped.
Okay.
But let's look at the law. I thought the law says end of service. I'm not a lawyer. But if indeed it's like that, it's written end of service, how do you define end of service?
You're not coming back. You're done.
You are done.
Yeah.
So first we should examine that. If end of service means you are done, then the issue is how much do we give to the one who has finished the job?
Right.
You understand? Then we'll look at it. But the situation where that has not been defined properly, end of service has not been defined properly. It has no meaning. People keep on coming up and down,
Right.
and they get it every time they come back.
Yeah.
It's a problem, because you see, when you compare this with a pension we give to the pensioners of the state pension, it becomes a big problem. We have done some work at my think tank, IFS.
IFS.
About 53% of Ghanaians on Ghana pension take home not more than 500 cedis a month.
What?
Come there tomorrow and look at the figures. And go to Senate, talk to the boss, go to the other, the regulatory commission. They all have the figures, they all know it. Ghanaians who are on state pension and who are not taking home more than 500 cedis, are more than 50%, 53%.
Wow.
So if one goes, does something for government and is paid 200,000, 300,000 as ex gratia, it becomes a problem, doesn't it?
Yeah.
You know,
Absolutely.
so it must be looked at.
Okay. All right. Let me move away from all of that. We are just about wrapping up. What's your favorite food to eat? Would it be fufu because you're an Ashanti man?
I don't take fufu.
You don't take fufu?
No.
Oh, no, you don't. What happened? How? Why?
About 30 years ago, I stopped taking fufu.
What's happened?
I prefer ambesi.
Ah, with abomu.
No, I prefer apim.
Apim, okay.
I prefer chips. That sort of thing. But I don't take fufu at all.
Right.
I don't like it.
You don't like it?
No.
That is very, very strange for an Ashanti man.
Yes.
Yeah.
I don't like it.
You don't like it? Do you support Kumasi Asante Kotoko?
Yes.
Ah. What a shame.
Yes. I don't like fufu.
You don't like fufu and you support Kotoko.
Yes.
So then you never missed out on fufu because I apparently in the Ashanti region, when Kotoko is playing, you have to eat your fufu before Kotoko kicks the ball. So you never had that problem then?
No, I used to take fufu. I stopped now.
Oh, you stopped years ago.
About 30 years ago, I
All
stopped
right.
taking fufu.
Okay. Right. And what kind of music do you listen to? What kind of music do you listen
I
to?
like gospel music.
Okay.
I like gospel music.
Is there a particular gospel artist you like in Ghana?
I like this girl from my town, Anamoah.
Oh, right. Find Anamoah.
It's from my town, you know.
Okay, from Kumeu.
Makumawu.
Right,
Yes.
right. Okay, interesting. And your favorite place in Ghana, apart from Kumeu?
It's one number one. Kumawu is number one.
So apart from Kumeu, your favorite place in Ghana?
Kumawu and Agogo.
Agogo. Why Agogo?
My wife's from there.
Ah, good choice. Makes sense.
Yes.
Yeah.
And they are all the same hills, you know.
Okay.
Same place.
Right, right. And your favorite place in the world?
Favorite place?
In the world, yeah.
Favorite is Ghana.
Is Ghana?
Yes.
Okay.
I like Ghana.
You do?
Yes. I don't like any other place.
Yeah. So the last time, people have been doing it. I even posted one on my Twitter that, if your mother was to deliver tomorrow, would you want to be delivered in Ghana? About 90% said, hell no. They don't want to be born in Ghana. Someone said, I'd rather be a tree in America than a child in Ghana. And that was profound.
Maybe they haven't traveled before, have they? There's no place like Ghana.
Really?
I think so.
Considering the conditions here.
What conditions?
You leave school and it takes you forever to get a job. You need to know people to get a job.
I don't see the problem. This country can turn around within 1 month, sorry, 1 year.
Right.
Things are so easy. I mentioned that.
Yeah.
Which crops do we have in this country which take more than 1 year to mature? Is it cocoa? Is it plantain? Is it cassava? So, or rice? So if we are going through these difficulties, it's because we have decided to let it happen. It's self-inflicted. I wouldn't like to live in any other country but Ghana. If my mother were to, I would ask her.
Deliver in Ghana.
Yeah, in Ghana. Yes. Nowhere.
Nowhere else.
No. Ghana.
That's very interesting. That's very interesting. Yeah.
No, I've lived in the US before, the UK before, I would like to be born here.
Again and again and again.
Again. It's lovely.
You're pro-Ghana.
No, UK, US, not at all. Yeah.
Right here.
Yes.
Yeah.
Right here. Lovely.
If one of your children turned up tomorrow and said they're relocating.
Well, I'll advise the person
To stay.
Because if she or he goes, he'll come back.
That's interesting.
They were educated there. They didn't want to stay.
Okay.
They didn't want to stay. Kwabena didn't want to stay. No. It's lovely here. We have to work to change the environment. It's a lovely country, frankly. We are gifted. God loves us. What do we have?
We have everything.
Everything. What do they have in the UK?
Well, not much, but they have strong leadership.
They
have systems that work.
They have built something for themselves.
Yeah, and so that's what we are lacking. That's what we are lacking here.
We can build our country.
Yeah, but then it comes back to the weak systems we have, the weak infrastructure, the not too good leadership.
We can do it ourselves, can't we?
We can. We can, absolutely.
So let's do it.
All right. It's such a pleasure talking to you.
You're welcome.
Yeah, absolute pleasure talking to you.
Here.
Yeah, you should come back.
Yes, I will not go anywhere.
The next time we'll be on TV.
Yes.
The next time we'll be on TV.
We'll do that.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much
for this opportunity.
Yeah. And congratulations with the Ahotor project and all the best with the launch tomorrow.
Thank you. Tomorrow we'll expect you to come and help us.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Absolutely. I'll be there.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much,
Thank
Daddy.
you.
So we are leaving you with something from Anamoah.
Yes.
Yeah. Papa Muo Bonimu from Anamoah.
Very good. Papa.